Hello, everybody. Thank you, Salah, to let me the stage and to have this opportunity to speak with you. Thank you so much. It was very interesting what I hear. And you know that we have only 15 minutes together. So 15 minutes, it's like speed dating. And when you are on speed dating, you know that you need to charm the people with very sexiest things. And I'm not sure that my accent will be enough to charm you. So I decided to speak about AI, that it's one of the sexiest words in the world today. And it's that good because one of my job is to be an expert of AI, and I found DeepLink, what it's one company in Lausanne close to EPFL, and we work in AI for implementing different products and to help the people to know what's happened in the life and what the AI will change. Here it's a forum of XR, virtual reality, and so on. And as you can understand that I'm not an expert of XR, so I'm sorry if I make some mistake, but I'm an expert on AI. And for people, I believe that for people it was very difficult to see the link between AI and XR. But after the different panel that we had, now it's clear that AI and XR are very linked. But to speak about AI, I decided to take one example of XR. And this example will be an avatar. And we hear different things about avatar. We hear different things about what is the impact of AI on XR. But you know that I think one aim of one avatar, it's clearly to be equal to the human. When I say equal to the human, it's very to create one avatar which is very close to human. And it's very important what I say for the rest of the presentation. When you would like to copy one human, you need to copy the face, you need to copy the dialogue, because you need that the avatar can speak. You need to copy the behaviors of the human, okay? And to do that, all the techniques that you hear, it's a AI techniques. I don't want to go deeper on all of this technique, but we see that we speak about face recognition. It's the same for computer vision. It's the same things, and it's one part of the computer visions. We need to have speech processing. It's for the dialogue, because of course you imagine that if I have one avatar, it's a French avatar, or it's mine, and I would like to speak with Chinese guys or other, I need that he understand what I say and maybe to translate in live, okay? And another thing that we use all the time in AI, but for experts in XR is very far, it's a natural language processing. What is it? It's exactly the capability to interpret what we say and to interpret one word in the context. It's very, very important technique that we use. But, by the way, behind all of these techniques, what they are the machine learning. And I just would like to give you some example of machine learning, because it's very important to understand why AI is so important for XR, okay? So, in machine learning, if you are familiar with that, you know that there are 4 techniques of machine learning. The first one, and the more used, is supervised learning. What is it? It's you have a set of data that you know, and you use the historical data to predict the future, because you know exactly what they are. And in supervised learning, we have 2 techniques. It's very easy to understand. It's linear regression. For example, you have the price. You would like to have the price of your house if you like to sell it according to the square meter of your house. Okay. So we use a lot of data with a lot of square meter on the price, and you can forecast and you can predict what is the price that you can sell your house. It's linear regression, very easy. And the second technique of supervised learning, it's classification. For example, you would like to know if, unfortunately, you are doctors and your patient has a cancer or not. You can analyze the tumors, okay? And the tumor, because based on the history, you know if the size of the tumor can have an impact, and you know if the tumor is benign or malignant, okay? So this is the 2 techniques of supervised. You can have a linear regression and you have a classification, automatic classification. But this is what we use. But sometimes we don't have enough data and we don't have historic data. And so that's why we use what we call unsupervised learning, or maybe recall currently self-supervised learning, if you go on the detail of this of AI. This technique is you have the data, but you don't know the output. And for example, is that Google use when they classify the news on the Google News, okay? Because there are a lot of news arriving, but you don't know what will be the topics for today. It will be for banking, for other things. So they have a data, but they have to classify it automatically according to the subject and to create a new classification. That is what we call unsupervised or self-supervised learning. And behind the techniques, there are deep learning generally, but maybe just to give you some keywords. The third is reinforcement learning. What is it? It's maybe the most famous technique that we know, but not by the name, but by the application. You have already heard about AlphaGo, maybe, and AlphaGo is based on reinforcement learning. Another thing, it's a self-driving car. A lot of people thinking about self-driving car, but what is it? What is reinforcement learning? It's very difficult to learn a lot of aspects. For example, on self-driving car. Sorry. So reinforcement learning is one thing. You have one step, you move to another step, and you receive directly the feedback. The next step is good or is not good. For example, with your cars stop on the red traffic light, it's good. So the algorithm receive an award. And the algorithm is like a child, like an award, and is programmed to receive a lot of award. So when it stops on the red for the traffic light, you receive an award. But if the car doesn't stop, they don't receive an award. So the car understands by itself that to stop at the red traffic light is good. Okay, so this is a technique that you use, reinforcement learning. And finally, the recommender system. This is one not new techniques. For specialists of machine learning said that it's not very machine learning, but it's that you use, for example, on Netflix, on Spotify, on the Deezer or other. It's just to like some things and I propose another thing that's very close to you. Okay? So if you understand these 4 techniques of machine learning, supervise for price of your house or the cancer, unsupervised is for Google News, reinforcement learning for self-driving car, and recommender system for Netflix, you know everything about machine learning. This is what you do. And it's a technique that you use for XR. And I would like to speak about the risk. Because if you understand it, we need the data, okay? And it's the first things. And so you said that the 2 guys say that he can do all the thing with the face because they don't have enough data. That is very important. That you show that when you use Freddie Mercury, they have a huge amount of data that you can find on the web. It's not the case for you. It's not the case for you because we don't find all the information. So it is very important. So we need data. So the first risk is to have not enough data to create one avatar can be your models, can be you, exactly. There's another thing, it's if you understand the different techniques, the techniques of machine learning is based on the data that you give and the historical data to give you the next, to learn. But imagine I would like to create an avatar. Sometimes I give the data, but I don't give all the data of mine. I will give only the data that I want to give. So finally, there are one bias between you and your avatar. And could be very, very important. For example, imagine that you like rock and rolls, okay? You like rock and rolls all the time, you listen rock and rolls. So you say to your avatar, rock and roll is the music of the world. But in reality, sometimes you listen classic music, pop, rap, and other. So because you know all the rest of the music, you can have your point of view. You can be criticism about the music. You like, you dislike, but it's your choice. If your avatar have only rock and roll for the avatar, the reality is only rock and roll. Maybe you say me, okay, Jerome, music is not, we don't care about music because, okay, rock and roll, maybe it's good or not. But imagine that if I do the same, but with food, with something that you can buy, or maybe but politics. And if your avatar in the future can speak with a other, and you have created a bias, I'll let you imagine that we can do with that. The second risk is the security, because if you give your data to your avatar and someone have access to your data, this person know everything about you. Your age, your sex, your preference, all the things, what you buy. And what they can do with that? It can influence yourself about what you have to buy now. Another thing, it's a security of not only to have access of the data, but maybe to take the control of your avatar. And if it's very, if the control only change your avatar very drastically, okay, you will see it. But imagine it change your avatar step by step, okay, day by day, little bit by little bit. And for example, they would like to give to your avatar some ideas, okay, more ideas. So it will be an impact for influence you to buy, maybe influence you to vote, okay, and maybe you can thinking about that, and maybe to influence you to be on terrorism, okay? So you have to understand that behind all this avatar, there's machine learning, and the machine learning learn with data. This is very important. It's not something magic, and it can't learn without data. So the data that you provide to your avatar will be an influence for him, on it, or him, depends how you can say, okay? So finally, because I have only 30 seconds, I can go deeper and deeper on the algorithm, but one thing I would like to say to you, avatar can have an impact of behavior, because if you think that you speak all the time with avatar and you stop to speak with your neighbor maybe, and they give you some new ideas because you have the recommend system on behind, maybe it can have an influence on behavior. So if you don't want to have an avatar on control, and maybe can influence you too much, I can just provide you two things. Leave the human control it, so you can put a monitoring. It's very important. The last panel, we speak about chatbot, and this is what we do. And to control the chatbot, we put a monitoring and to say, no, stop, there are one deviance, stop, one bias here, okay? Maybe Amazon, when they put algorithm for hire people, there are no put monitoring. Yeah? Another thing is data protection. Okay, it's not only with privacy, but how to control the data to be sure that we don't create one bias and we don't create one avatar that it's under control. Thank you. It was very short, sorry.